how to process it, how to manage it, after technically processing, how to shelve it, how to provide it to the users, and also to circulate these material for the registered members to be borrowed by them, used in their houses, and then return back. And also we have seen the processes. Suppose books are not available on the shelf, it is issued already to somebody, then how to rather reserve it, so that when the person is returning, when a borrower is returning it, you can reserve it. It will not be given to some other person. Only first priority will be given to the person who has reserved the book. And we have also seen, if a book is renewed, if it has been reserved by somebody else, we can always recall those books before the due date and issue it to the person who is asking. And normally, at the time of physical verification, we can recall all the books which have been issued before the due date itself, so that we can include those books in the verification list, that the books have been verified physically. We have seen how we select the material, and then how we are classifying it. First, we are accessioning it, we are classifying it, cataloging it, putting technical labels, stamps, etc. over the publications owned by us, then send it to the stack section for display under new arrivals for a few days, and then making it available for circulation to be borrowed by the users. Then we have already seen other things, how the different theories are applied, and how the library finances are planned. Whatever we are receiving, how we plan it for purchasing, etc. For both documents and as well as non-document material, consumables, and also amount to be allocated or spent for different kinds of services, like getting documents, the DDS, document delivery service, or providing reprography service, providing literature search, getting resources from other libraries. Now, we will see some of the things, such as when the books are processed, it has been sent to the maintenance section. Of course, all libraries will not have a separate maintenance section. Only big libraries will be having an assistant librarian or an in charge who will be looking after the maintenance section. Otherwise, normally the circulation staff or the existing library staff only perform the duties. As I told, in some of the college libraries or school libraries, there will be a single person who will be performing all the jobs. He will be the master of all jobs. He has to do procurement, he has to do processing, he has to circulate, he has to get back, maintain, sometimes even clean the racks. No peon. So everything has to be done by a single person. But normally the university libraries or other special or public libraries having number of staff will be having a person to look after the maintenance section. how the books are arranged in the maintenance section. Normally, there are several types of racks available. You can keep the books in the almiras with glass door, or even iron almiras, wooden almiras with glass in the front. You can keep it in slotted angle racks. Mostly the libraries use the slotted angle racks for keeping the books. Only the very costly books or reference books having number of pages, heavy volumes, we keep in the almiras. Otherwise, it is put in the open racks. There are different types of racks, as I told. The racks, slotted angle racks with backside close with iron sheet or steel sheet, or on the side, the sides are open and front panel is open. Otherwise, you will get 3 side closed racks which can be used for keeping the books. Another category of slotted angle racks is there, which is mostly used by big libraries having number of rooms. Either it is public library like State Central Library or City Central Library, or any libraries, special libraries having number of rooms or different ways, so that more number of books are accommodated. We call such category of racks double-faced racks. Double-faced racks. You can keep the books on both the sides of rack. Right side, left side. 14, a single rack contains 14 shelves. Single, not rather shelves, I can say cabinets type. There will be 3 one side, 3 other side, and number of shelves will be up to 7. So 7 into 7, 49 shelves will be there in a single double-faced rack. And there is provision, if you want, you can further extend the units. Another 7 you can add. So it becomes, instead of 49, it becomes 98 shelves. And each shelf, you know, even minimum 20 books, even if you keep 20 into 98. So approximately 2000 books can be accommodated on the single double-faced racks. How it looks? I think, have you seen double-faced rack, how it looks? Anybody? How a double-faced rack looks? I can show you if it is there some feel. You can see here, I'm showing you in my mobile. We are seeing how a double-faced rack looks. Able to see? You can keep the books on both sides and access. There will be about 1.35 meters difference between each rack. And you can keep the books on both sides. Able to see or not?
Yes, sir.
So there will be another type where the single rack will be there. You will be able to keep books open type. This is single type rack. and there will be glass door almiras, and so many other type of almiras are available. Of course, commonly available even in our houses. Only the thing that almira will have the glass. The main objective of maintenance section is always to utilize the available space for accommodating documents, large number of documents, as many as possible. Sometimes what happens, there is no choice, or there is no possibility of extension of a particular section, stack room. Then such libraries, I have seen myself in some of the libraries, there will be the stacking of books in two layers. The less used books are put behind, and the more used books are put in front. Two layers. It becomes difficult to access, but it is unavoidable because of the one cannot accommodate more racks in the available limited space. In such fashion, the libraries cannot do anything. Simply, they have to accommodate in two layers, or in some of the libraries I have seen in India Meteorological Department library, vertically they are going up. The racks are touching the roof. They are put in such a fashion along the walls, it is touching the roof, and one has to take a ladder and climb up to the roof height to get a book. Of course, one can accommodate, no doubt, more large number of books, but for the people, elderly people who have some, even young people sometimes having disabilities, they cannot access. Only the library staff has to climb over the ladder and pick up the book and give. So browsing by the individuals becomes very difficult, very difficult. But still, the libraries, what they also have got certain circumstances, no place for extension, no more racks can be accommodated. So they have to squeeze the space and somehow make the arrangements in such a way that large number of books can be accommodated in the limited space. There are several types of arrangements. Even if you see your study material, you may find some of the racks are system given on page number 262, 63, 64. How one can keep the books in the racks. But thing is that nowadays, one more thing is there. Compact racks are coming, compact racks. What you will do, there will be even in the limited space, they will be putting rails. Rails means pattalu, that what we call this as a train is moving on the rails, same way they are putting in the libraries, and you can just push with hand, because they will be having, or the racks will be having the wheels, and it will move. And sometimes they are compact storage will be there. All racks will be joining together. There will be a, as you see the steering wheel in the car, same way you can bring them together and the racks will be closing. Such unit was there in our library also, but one has to be very careful while handling those kinds of racks. There should be no person inside. Of course, one can stop it, but still you can accommodate large number of books by having such compact type of racks. How the books are arranged? books are arranged, you know, according to call number, which is available on the books. Only the thing, there are certain guides are put, even if it is closed type of or compact type of racks. On the front face of the rack, there will be certain strips are there in which you can write which subject books, what classification number from beginning ending on each rack. As a guide, you can either paste or put in that bracket is there, in that one can put. So it helps to readers to know from outside in a particular rack which books are there, which subject books are there, beginning which classification of class number to ending up to what. So they can open a particular type of rack and pick up the material. So these different multi-tier, tower stacks, compact storage racks, all these things are. There are also, if you see your page number, it says 261 hinged stacks. A rack is there, a single rack is there, and another rack, similar type, single rack, will be attached with hinges. Hinges as door hinges will be there. No, you can open the door, close the door. Similarly, they are tied with hinges. Hinged racks are there. You can open it, see what is there inside, or pick up whatever you want, and then you can close it. So different technologies. I have mechanical type of skills are mechanical skills are used to have the different type of shelves. And then you can make different kinds of arrangement. You can have parallel arrangement, block arrangement, ribbon arrangement. Means you different ways you can keep the books. Sometimes you keep the size-wise book, bigger books in and one shelf and with less height in one shelf. The different arrangement. The best way is to have a uniformity, arrange according to call number, that will be serving the nicely the purpose of stacking the books. So each type of shelf has got its own rather usefulness. One can, once you may accommodate large number of books, but at the same time it may not be easy to access. But when you are having easy access in certain types of rack, double page or single page, then less number of books can be accommodated. Some problems will be there always, one has to face. Otherwise, the best thing is to have, if possible, extension of the building when you feel that space has become limited and you have to accommodate more number of books. Better talk to your authorities, get additional room so that more number of racks can be added there and you will be able to accommodate more number of things. The major duty of the stack room staff is, as I told, there may be a separate person to look after the stacks, or sometime if there are 2 persons in circulation, half day a person will issue book, half day he will arrange the books what have been received in previous afternoon, and next half this person may staff may move to the issuing counter, and another person may be able to arrange what books have been received in the morning from at the circulation counter, and what books have been consulted by the readers or users and left on the table. You may, one thing is there always, if you see the even big libraries, a board is displayed, a placard is displayed which says readers should not attempt themselves, readers should not attempt themselves to replace the book. If readers themselves try to replace the books on the shelf, they may not be well versed with the classification system, even if it is, if they know the broad classes, but all principles, they may not be knowing how to replace the books. The book may go wrong, to wrong place, and its retrieval becomes difficult. For that purpose, always readers are requested to leave the books or documents on the table after consultation. They should not try to replace it on the racks by themselves. It is the duty of library staff to replace book, and that too in the right place, so that the books can be retrieved by next person when he wants to access it. And of course, many libraries have arrangements, new books, whenever new books are processed, because the maintenance section is such a section that it will have relation with all sections, technical processing section or binding section or with the circulation section, because books from all the places come to the stack room, which are to be reshelved. So they have to always be in constant touch, and whenever new books have come, display for a few days in the special rack, which is meant for sometimes circular rack, rotating rack, revolving rack, all those things are there. They are put there for 10, 15 days, and then it goes to relevant place. And the books which have come after the rebinding, those things are to be numbered, and they have to be, again, if there are labels have gone, replace the label. If there are some cards, book cards or something is missing, that may be prepared. If any book pocket is missing, that is to be again pasted. These duties are of the library stack room personnel, who will do that job and replace the books after they come after binding in the right place. Any corrections are to be made. If any mistake is found, that has to be replaced in the right place. And broadly speaking, every day, a broad view is to be taken of the stack room by the library staff, if not daily, at least alternate day, so that because their eyes will find out if the books are wrongly placed. Sometimes readers intentionally also, what they will do? Many times students also do this job. What? They will take the book, read within the library. If it is a physics book, you will try to put in biology, so that other person will not be able to use it. You only will come tomorrow and pick up from biology, because you have kept it, chemistry book in biology, physics books in biology, biology books in physics. Sometimes intentionally, it is done by readers. So when in the morning, the stack room personnel glances at the racks broadly, he will find out if other subject book is appearing in botany, in chemistry, or in social sciences. He will pick up that book and put in right place. That is known as shelf rectification. Shelf rectification. Because intentional or unintentionally, the books goes to wrong places, in the wrong shelves. Those things are to be picked up, and those picked up books are to be replaced in the right place. Self-rectification. Sometimes I have seen in the previous papers, sometimes short note comes, what is meant by self-rectification, and also you can always say replacing the books in the right place, which have been misplaced by the readers. Sometimes by lazy or untrained staff also may do such mistakes, not keeping the book in the right place. But sorry, it is not that everywhere. I'm not telling, but sometimes one or two staff members, always you may find they may not be perfect in that job, or they are forcibly put in that section and they are not doing the job dedicatedly. So dedication lacks, and there you will find that such mistakes occur. Okay. Another thing is the maintenance, stack maintenance staff has to see that the books are kept clean, tables are every day cleaned, and readers does not find any inconvenience while sitting and reading. And if you find that any bulb has gone, a tube light has gone, request the authorities, inform the librarian, get it replaced, so that proper lighting, proper ventilation, the opening and closing of the windows during daytime and closing when the library is closed, so that birds etc. doesn't enter, or the lighting or ventilation should be proper. So all these things, cleaning, maintaining the opening and closing of windows, proper lighting, putting, if AC is there, putting off or putting on the AC, all those things are the duties of the stack maintenance people, including the replacement of the documents. There are certain more assignments given to the stack room people or circulation people. Of course, that is what I am talking about, this stock taking or stock verification. In other words, it is also known as physical verification of the documents available in the library. This is sometime annual, sometime once in 3 years or 5 years. This has to be done compulsorily, because as per the mandatory or as per the law also, we are supposed to verify the books. If books are less than 20,000 in a library, total volumes, then every year it has to be verified. And if it is more than 20,000 and less than 50,000, then it has to be done every 3 years. And libraries having large collection, more than 50,000, they may resort it once in 5 years. And large libraries having lakhs of books, only sample verification is done from 1,000 to 5,000 accession number, some 10 books. The committee will list out the accession numbers, and every 1,000 or every 5,000, some numbers, those books are to be picked up from the racks and show that they are available or they are in issue by checking the circulation counter. If neither they are issued, neither they are available, nor they are available on the racks, then either they are misplaced or something have been stolen or missing from the library. And the annual stock taking rules say that if you find even in a large library, even when it is done once in 5 years, if the sample verification gives the results that large number of books are missing, even in the samples, then it is advised that 100% physical verification of all the books available is to be done by a constituted committee consisting of library staff, including outsiders, faculty, or whatever it may be. In our library, the rule was to constitute a committee every once in 3 years because we were having more than 20,000 volumes. But a constituted committee used to verify the books every 3 years, 100% verification. And of course, the library staff used to assist the committee members, show them where the books are, how they are arranged, or sometimes they assist. And there are different methods of staff taking. We can see one or two important methods how we can verify the books. If you see the page number 270 of your study material, you will find the methods of stock verifications have been given. In first method, it says accession register. What the verifier will do, you will take the accession register near this stack, library is closed to the readers, and at least particular section where verification is taking place, that section is totally closed for the readers. A person takes the accession register near the rack. Two persons will be there. One person will be picking up the first book. He will be telling the accession number. Then the another person in the accession register will be going to that number, accession number, and rounding off or putting a tick that book has been verified with the pencil. Of course, they put the tick with pencil. Go to next book, third book, fourth book, next shelf, like that. Books are verified. It is very cumbersome process. Cumbersome, difficult, boring job of doing verification, particularly when you are doing accession number wise correction, verification. First thing, your accession register is going to spoil every a year or every 2-3 years. You are putting a mark with pencil, again rubbing it with rubber. Naturally, your accession register is going to get damaged in few years' time. While the accession register is the asset or property register of the library, which is to be preserved for very, very long time till the library is there. So this method of doing verification using taking accession register and one person reading, another person rounding off, just turning the pages to go to the relevant accession number. Sometime in our library, there were 7 accession registers because a accession register may accommodate not more than 2,000-3,000 books. Again, start new register, continue accession register of accession number same way, but use 5-7 register. So you don't know which accession number is going to the next book. First book may be 217, then directly 7,000 some accession number. Because books are not at all arranged according to accession number. They are arranged according to what? On the shelves, books are arranged according to what? Somebody? Yes.
Classification wise.
Classification or call number wise. Call number wise. So call number is different. Accession number is different. So after one accession number, another accession number may be going in thousands. Again, it is coming in 2 digits. Again, it is coming in 5 digits, then 7 digits. It is very difficult to do verification using accession register. But that was done previously. The second method was to separate register with accession numbers. Actually, if you go to the library vendors, there are library stationery vendors. Can somebody name me? Name if working librarian, from where you get normally library stationery? It is very important to know for the librarians from where you will get the library catalog cards, the library registers, accession registers, or any relevant, including racks, cabinets, computer stationery related to library. Anybody have any idea? Yes or no? Otherwise, I will tell you.
No, sir.
No, sir.
There is a standard library services. Standard library services, one seller in New Delhi. You can get the all library materials from them. It is in near the library, New Delhi railway station. By post, of course, if you may check on the Google also you may get, but you may place order with them and they will free of cost, they will put the name of your library. If you want catalog card, you want your membership tickets, or you want book pockets, you want due date slip, they will print and give you. They will charge for the stationery and printing, but your name and address of library is printed free of cost. It is in New Delhi. Every librarian is supposed to know. And another company is Mehra and Co. Mehra and Company, which is in Bahadurgarh Road in New Delhi. They also have got good items, almost all library stationery items, including the sorting bins, catalog cards of different types, labels, every stationery of library is available. If you want, you please note down the names of both the firms, because when you become librarian, you are join a library, you may require some stationery, you may be able to. Of course, some things you can get locally, but local vendors are not there. But these two vendors are very famous since last 50 years, more than 50 years. They will be supplying throughout country, the Mehra and Company and Standard Library Service in New Delhi. Another firm also was there for some time, Systems and Systems, but I do not know now whether they exist or they have stopped this business. But Mehra and Co. and also the Standard Library Service, still they exist. You may personally also visit when you are in Delhi, or you can always place order. They will provide you the catalog. They will where what items are there, what sizes, what prices, everything. You can get quotation and you can get from them. So they sell certain library registers also. Stock verification register is also there, in which first column will be having accession number 1 to 50 on each page printed, and then years will be there. Say 2020, 21, 20, or they will leave that column blank. You write with pen on for which year you are verifying the books. And simply, instead of taking the accession register to the rack, take that register with the accession numbers, and one person same way follow. One person reads accession number or title, author of book, and you go to that accession number and put the tick against that accession number. But the time consumed, the boring met, or feeling of tiredness will be the same in this process and the first process. It is very difficult. And third method is there, which is having separate sheets with accession number. This thing we have also done for some time. What we'll do, we will, with the help of computers, we are printing on this big sheet 1 to 500 accession number. Next sheet will contain 501 to 1000 numbers. Third sheet will contain again 1001 to 1500. 1501 to 2000. Like that, as many as number. Suppose 20,000 books are there. We are having some 10, 12 sheets on each 500 numbers are printed, and take that bunch with you, go near the rack, same procedure. One person will be telling you the accession number of the book. You have to round off, go to relevant sheet. Instead of 200, 500 sheet, this accession is turning only 10, 12 sheets. You make round in that one, and later on find out when the entire process is over, find out which numbers are not rounded off or not cut. So those accession numbers are missing. Books with those accession numbers are missing. You have to prepare, find out what titles are there, what authors are there. Maybe possible you might have left it. Something may be there in binding section, something may be issued, or sometime when 2% tell, 1% tells the number, another rounds off, it happens, they may tell 518. You may round off 581. So wrong book is marked as available. But actually it was 518, but you have put 581. Similarly, any such numbers, we have found that while doing physical verification using such sheets, sometime if there are 30,000 books, at least 300-400 mistakes will be there, and rectification of those mistakes, again, hell of the job. It takes sometime days together to rectify, search where are those books, and all such problems will be there. So though it will only the advantage of having these numbers in the on the printed sheet, it will not spoil the accession register. And secondly, you may have to turn only 5-10 times, because 10-12 sheets instead of turning 10 accession registers or moving to even the separate register on separate pages. This is a little bit easier. Many times what we do, we put the list of missing numbers in the computers, again typing or removing what is available, what is not available, and finally preparing a list. Again, months job. Very, very difficult. Apart from difficult, while putting in computer or preparing list, again some 1 or 2 mistakes occur, and while putting in computer some mistake occurs. So many, but really boring job. Anyhow, then earlier methods were having numerical counting. Suppose you are having easy method. You are having, suppose, 10,000 books. You get the books back, arrange on the rack, and close the stack room. Count a physical number of books available on the shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, second 25, second shelf, or count it has gone up to 49, then go third, go up to 97 or 98, like that. Go on counting all the books available on the racks. General method. And when you are counting and you found that a total of 9,987 books are there, but your book register shows that 10,200 books are there. That means again 213 books are, of course, 213 books are less. Physically, you have found 9,987 instead of 10,200. That means 213 books are not available on the shelf. You have checked, suppose you have checked issue records, you have checked binding, books sent on binding or given to some other way. That means 213 books are missing. Again, you have to break your head to find out actually which are those numbers which are missing, which are those books which are missing. Find out their author, title, accession number, find out only cast and everything. But only you will be knowing that 213 books are missing. Numerical, that is known as numerical counting. Then Another way is there, cards method. Of course, what people used to do, remove the book cards from the book. As I told yesterday, I have shown you book cards. Book cards will be there in book packet in the books. So you have to remove the book cards from all the available books on the shelf. Arrange those book cards according to increasing accession number order. So naturally, when you arrange the cards, you find out which book cards are not available. That means books are not available. List out what books are missing out, which accession numbers are missing out. Find out, go to accession register, find out the details of those accessions which are not available in the book cards. Prepare the list, put the cost, estimate what are the books which have been missing. We call missing, we don't call lost. There may be, they are missing in the list. They may be available at the wrong place. They might have been fallen somewhere else behind the rack. It may be somewhere. Unless until you check 3-4 times and assure that those books are really missing, then only you may say the books are lost. Otherwise, still they are missing or misplaced books. So, removing the book cards, arranging it according to increasing order of accession number is one method of stock verification. Stock verification, when you join a library, definitely you may have to do. You may have to do as a library staff. Less than 20,000, every year you have to do. Less than 50,000, every 3 years you have to do. More than 50,000, once in 5 years. So you cannot escape. So these are some of the methods. And apart from that, you can also do, nowadays, certain computerized methods are there. Even while doing manually, the best method of doing stock verification is to take the shelf list cards. What is shelf list? What is shelf list card? Yes. Please let me know. Somebody. What is a shelf list card? I have already told in the previous class. Please try. If you are wrong, I will correct it. Don't feel. But can somebody tell me what is a shelf list card?
Replace the book.
Shelf list card, I am telling you.
Card means columns, rows, number of.
No. Shelf
Numbers, author name, page number, title.
I will tell you. Shelf list card is nothing but a catalog card giving the bibliographic details of a book and arranged, those cards arranged in a catalog cabinet shelf according to call number. They are arranged in classified order. As the books appear on the rack shelves of the racks, same way the shelf list cards are arranged in the shelf of a catalog cabinet. That means a shelf list is a replica of the books arranged on the library racks. If you take the shelf list, first shelf of your catalog cabinet having shelf list, go to the rack, the cards arranged in the books in that shelf will be according to the books arranged on the shelf. So verification becomes very easy. The accession, as their accession order is there on the shelf, same accession order will be there in the shelf list card. Understood? Anybody having any doubt? Yes?
Sir, once again explain, sir.
Once again, repeat, sir.
You know, shelf list card is a catalog card having all the bibliographic details of the books. As you prepare the catalog card for author, catalog card for title, same way this card also is a duplicate card of your, say, main entry in the catalog. Only the thing on the top of it is having call number, and the call number books, the cards in the shelf list cards are arranged according to call number, as the books are arranged on the shelves according to call number. So it is the mirror image of the books on shelf, library shelves. These cards are same way arranged in the library catalog cabinet shelves. Is it okay? Understood? It is the same type arrangement of cards in the catalog cabinet. So taking a bundle of cards, shelf list cards near the racks, one person tells you the, for first book, the accession number, same way this card is there, second, third, fourth, fifth, like that. Immediately you go on telling what books are available on the racks, and you go on checking that card. And in case book is not there on the rack, that card is removed and kept separately. So the verification process goes very fast, not boring, less time consuming, and accurate. Okay. So another method of doing physical verification is computerized method. In computerized method, what we will do, the books are having the book labels, and in that book labels, instead of cloth and ordinary label, you are putting barcodes, pasting barcode, and that barcode will contain the accession number on the top. Call number will be there, below that accession number will be there. So taking a barcode reader and moving it over the labels will acquire the information. It will take the image, and the numbers are transferred to the database, which is you are having laptop or something, computer with you, and you may whatever is available will be, those accession numbers will be captured by the computer and put into a separate database. That is the what we call automated method of stock verification. And nowadays, either electromagnetic strips or RFID, radio frequency identification tags are put in the books documents, and with the tag reader, with the barcode readers, capturing data and putting into a separate file becomes easy, and verification can be done in very less time, not less than the 1/10 of time physically consumed, even still more easy. So the best method of stock verification is to have the books relevant labels, RFID tags, or your at least barcodes, and have this technology applied, and we will be able to finish the process of physical verification or stock verification quickly. What normally is done after the verification? A final list of lost book is prepared, missing books is prepared. That book is that list is put up to the higher up authorities by committee, which has done verification. And if the number of books missing, and that too costly books missing or rare books missing, the authorities may investigate, constitute a committee. They may put questions to the staff to fix the responsibility. And if no responsibility can be fixed, that higher authorities has got certain powers head of the institution up to certain amount, 20,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 rupees, maybe as per some guidelines are given in the financial SRFR rules will be there. This financial management books are there in Government of India. Under that, the stock verification and what we call writing it off the assets. The powers are given to heads of division. Every year, how much amount can be written off, that also is mentioned. And if the loss is within the purview of the head of the institution, if he is willing, he finds that no responsibility can be fixed, then he may write off it off, and the amount may be removed from the balance sheet, because a copy goes to the account section, and you have to mark those books which are lost in accession register with red pen, and write against the remark, just book lost, approved, or it has been written off, WO, written off, and write the relevant OM number. And another process done by this stack room staff is weeding out the publications. Weeding out what? What to weed out? Weed means what? Weeds, actually in botany when we study, weed is nothing but the plants. Suppose you have put some ornaments plants, flowering plants. In that, some plants automatically grow for which you have not put the seeds also, are known as weed. They feed on this plants material. So for that purpose, these malis, those gardeners, they remove the weeds from there. And even from the fields, sometimes a field crop is grown and weeds grow, weeds are removed. Weeds are things which are not required. Same way in the library, what we do, the books which are torn, which are damaged, are books whose material has become obsolete. New material has come in place of that. New information has come. Information has become obsolete. Or old editions of the books. Sometimes a university handbook is there. Suppose you have got 20th edition, and now suppose it is 30th edition. 10 editions have come afterwards. So all rules, regulations of admission, fees, addresses sometime, or persons working in the department, all will change. So information becomes useless, obsolete in those old volumes. Such books are weeded out, liable to be weeded out. And sometimes some books will be there for decades together. 2 decades they are lying on the shelf, and not a single time it has been used, even though acquired by the library. So such books also, by seeing the issue, due date slips or book cards, you may decide, yes, this book has not been used for years together. Though it defies the Ranganathan's bylaws, which says every book, every its reader, but unfortunately, sometimes some books are not used and it is unnecessarily occupying the shelf space in your library where you can put some useful book. So such books which are identified by the library staff, librarian, or the constituted committee, such books are weeded out. They are listed out with the reasons for weeding out or withdrawal, telling that either it is damaged, you cannot do anything. If white ants have eaten away the pages, if you keep that book still on the rack, other books may also get infected. They may also get damaged, so you may have to remove it. Books which have got new editions and old information you are giving to the readers, then also it is not good, so remove such books. So like that, weeding out process take place. Sometimes the books are torn to such an extent it cannot be rebound. Rebinding is not possible. So such books are to be listed out with giving the details of it, and the Government of India rules says, which is there in goods offices circular also. If you see the financial rules also, it says a librarian with certain rank, means having certain powers, may weed out the damaged or obsolete books. There is no objection to it. So the books are listed out. They are, along with its cost, it has been put up to the higher ups. Once it is approved, the list is sent to the account section. In register, succession register, marking is done that books have been weeded out or written off, and those cards are also accession. These catalog cards are removed or entries are removed from databases. Against that accession number, only written off is written or weeded out is written, and the you will get more shelf space when the books are weeded out, obsolete, lost, damaged books. So these are some of the processes, and when the books are lost, then of course, as I told, it has been said that if the book is having cost more than 500 or 1000 rupees, if it is lost, then some investigation has to take place, how it is going out. And of course, with the introduction of computerized methods, having gate near the library, you are inserting tags, RFID, then one may not take the book unauthorizedly. Even if he is taking, alarm will ring. Go to your the library in Agriculture University Library, you may find the check how if person without issuing books is going out, he can be, alarm will ring and the person will be caught. You can also see in some other libraries such facility having RFID cards, and person can be, the missing or losing book can be avoided to a large extent. Totally we cannot, even if take whatever measures you want, still you may find few books missing. But if it is in 10,000, 20,000 books, if 1 or 2, 3 books are missing, it can be written off by authorities. But more number of missing means only problem. Sometimes cases have come, incidents have come where the amount has been deducted from the salaries of the library staff, making them responsible that they have been negligent. They have not taken proper care, and the unless and the losses being a large number, they have deducted from the salaries of the librarian and the library staff. So such things have come, and now moving to another unit of conservation and preservation of books. Of course, all of us, we know a thing which is created is going to get destroyed, maybe after few decades, maybe a century, something may survive, but it is going to be damaged. And you know very well, the paper is made up of cellulose, which comes from the plant products, and this paper life is also limited. It may survive for 100, 150 years. Nowadays, of course, good quality paper, acid-free paper is coming. Then also it may not go beyond 150 years or so, because I have seen in our library books which are about 200 years old were there, published 200 years before, but the quality in those days were not so good of the paper. So the paper has become brittle, they have become yellowish and frequently attacked by termites, white ants, cockroaches, etc. So, but the new publications which are there, or the publications which have been printed over the acid-free paper, survive for long duration. It is not that we want to save that particular book only. For us as the librarian, a book is not important. The content of the book is important. We have to preserve the content of the book. So ultimately, when there was no method of duplication, no method of saving the content was available, we were supposed to conserve and preserve the books, documents, manuscripts, handwritten manuscripts were there, typed manuscripts were there, sometimes data, raw data, all those things was to be conserved and preserved. The process to save the book conservation, that is, you have to use certain chemicals, use certain methods so that paper is survived for long time. It is not damaged. Let us consider first what are the things which destroy the paper which is made up of cellulose. The first enemy, certain biological factors are there. There are certain environmental factors. There are some chemical factors, atmospheric, of course, part of environment. So either having direct falling light on the publications, sunlight for long duration may destroy the paper or damage the paper. water or moisture entering the book stack area due to seepages in the walls, due to leaking roof, or due to any damages to the structures. If water enters, falls on the books, the paper once soaked in the water becomes useless. We cannot use that book further. The papers get jammed, glued together. You cannot separate it out. It becomes very difficult. So it is the duty of stock maintaining people, library authorities, library staff to safeguard the library material, keep it safe from the effects of sunlight, from the effects of dust, from the effects of moisture or water, or we may have to save it from the biological factors, organic factors, save it from the cockroaches, white ant, termite, or fungus. All these things damage the publications, paper, which is there. Of course, all publications are made up of that. Of course, for the preserving the paper from the effects of termites, fungus, and several other biological factors. Of course, we can take as far as possible, we can, with the help of our engineers, our authorities, may make your library leak proof, no leakages. Roof is leak proof. You may have proper windows with mesh, mosquito net or mesh. Only air can enter to some extent, but not direct sunlight to large extent. No, you can keep the books, of course, under air condition or under fans. With you can avoid the direct dust entry to a large extent, clean it frequently so that the life of paper goes up. If there is a process of what we call dehumidification, in that we try to remove the humidity, control the humidity where the books are accommodated. I have seen, not only seen, sometimes practice also. You know, sambrani, what we call, that is white powder chemical, which we are using in our temples also. That is taken in the earthen part. That white powder is put and you can burn it and the smoke will come. That smoke has got, even the ladies you might have seen putting that powder and drying their hair so that it becomes dry. It is a process of a kind of dehumidification, removing the moistures from the hair. Similarly, such powder, such smoke is taken near the book racks. Sometime if the book, we have done, because sometime our roof of our library started leaking from one place, and of course it was repaired, but some moisture came in some of the bond volumes of journals. So we have given that smoke of this, what we call the sambrani, or some chemicals will be there, and it will be used. And also, sometime if paper, by chance, if journal issue, current journal issue, or some paper gets some water, and if it is a little damage is there, you can use the ultraviolet light. You can put the even the bulbs with high power, 200, 300 watts bulbs are put, and with that heat, the paper get moisture gets removed, and the papers can be separated carefully. And in order to save the books from the termites, you can use the chemicals available. You may use this carbon certain tetrafluoride is there, and also you may one chemical comes, balistol. That balistol can be sprayed over the books which are getting moisture or getting white ants. If you put that balistol spray over the books, those white ants are what we call silverfish, a small insect like shining like the silver. I have seen in some of the books, old books, damaged books, they are crawling on the, moving on the books. They are having very shiny feather-like thing. So such insects can be killed using chemicals like balistol, and putting these formaldehyde, carbon disulfide, or carbon dioxide, thymol. Thymol is the product of one plant. You know, ajwain. What you call, I don't know where. That is thymol. Is nothing but the product taken out of the ajwain. That chemical is used, and ethylene dichloride is used. And if ready-made, if you purchase these balistol also, it kills bookworms, mildew, molds, silverfish, or cockroaches. You can put the naphthalene balls sometime on the racks, empty spaces, so that, because cockroaches are attracted, you are using maida while binding the books, damaged books, or while binding the journals. Maida is a product. Nowadays, of course, Fevicol is also there, chemical pasted, but these binders use maida. Of course, they are adding copper sulfate in the maida levy, but still they are paste of that. If in that crystals are put by crushing it, then the rats, even if they try to eat away, they may die, and the cockroaches also won't come due to that. So some such things are to be used, and sometime book lice will be there, termites, white ants will be there, and we have to use these things. Of course, the damage to a large extent is done if the library is in some open space, and rats are coming. Rats are of course, they are enemies of the paper. Suppose a rat enters into a rack, at least few books are going to be damaged. Small, sometimes they give the these eat away the things, and the small rats, when the young ones, they eat away, and papers becomes, publication becomes useless. You might have seen in your house the rats damaging the clothes, damaging the books, damaging the other items in the house. So one has to be very careful with rodents or rats in the library. You can put the cages to certain cages come rat traps where you can put certain things and keep in the library. If a rat is there, it will get trapped inside, and you can throw that rat out or kill it, whatever it may be. There is another. There was a joke. Of course, it has happened. It seems somewhere they have put the trap to catch the rodent, the rat, and instead of that, a snake got caught there. And when the person went to catch that trap, found that instead of a rat, a snake is there inside. So, of course, it has come in the news, but it is, I am telling jokingly. So, such things also are there to catch the paper damaging, rats or crawlers or whatever it may be. And of course, suppose what is the aim of the library? Librarians or a library's goal is always to preserve the material in order to preserve the publications for a long time, take all the possible measures, safeguard, see that all windows are having proper mesh, proper lighting is there, if possible, air condition, put that facility, not only for of course, users also enjoy, and books also will be having not totally 100% free, but very less dust under the air condition condition. Nowadays, you may find even the air purifiers are put when they are inside the air conditions in the libraries and in some other things. Total dust-free environment. Also, there will be no fragrance will be there instead of some air pollutants inside. So such things can be there. And if you see particularly your page number 296, you may find the common insects, pests, and their prevention: mildew, bookworms, silverfish, cockroaches, termites, white ants, fire brats, book lice. All those things are there. And you can find in the front the names of the chemicals which can prevent the infection due to these biological factors are given, like pentachlorophenol, beta-pethanol, paranitrophenol. So many things are given here. You can see what can be used for what purpose, and it may be this may be a future useful guide to you when you become librarian in some organization, and you find by chance if any of the publications are getting affected due to these factors. You may use these things. You may advise your authorities to purchase such chemicals, or many times, many libraries, if they find that some infections are coming, some biological factors, some white termite or some white ants are there, then we have got certain firms doing the preservation of publications. Sarup Pest company is there, or certain other firms are there, they will get the contract by, you have to outsource. You have seen in the human HRD, outsourcing. Certain services can be outsourced. So you can outsource this preservation of publication. So twice in a year or yearly, the people come with chemicals, they spray over the stack, they spray certain chemicals over the books, so that they are free of these biological factors affecting the books or chemical factors. Suppose, of course, another one more thing, very important for the library, as I told, environment affects, atmosphere affects the publication. Similarly, the water, of course, affects the paper. It is one of the factor damaging the publication. Same time, fire is also, if fire takes place, gone. Everything will, paper will, cellulose will turn into ashes. So we have to keep the library facilities, having their fire extinguishers in the library in different places. At least 4 or 5 fire extinguishers should be there. Unluckily, unfortunately, if fire comes, though sometime it happens, in spite of taking all the precautions, no smoking is allowed strictly, nothing, no fire inside, no agarbatti, no, nothing is allowed inside. Still, sometime it happens, some short circuit may take place, or something, unfortunately, if happens in some library and fire breaks, then it is very difficult to control. Sometimes the paper is turned into ashes, lakhs and crores of rupees will go to waste. For that purpose, some preventive actions before the damage takes place, some preventive actions are there in many libraries, including the library where I was working. The fire alarms are installed in many university libraries, special libraries. Fire alarms are installed. Automatic fire extinguishers facilities are also available. If the fire comes immediately, if there is, it will try to extinguish the fire. Of course, we were having a facility, I will tell you. The fire alarms were installed, the smoke detector we call. Smoke detectors were installed in various, almost all sections of library. And it was computerized in such a fashion, if fire breaks in any part of the, or even if smoke is detected in any part of the library, the message on mobile of the security officer was reaching immediately. It has happened. Once there was a short circuit, of course, there was no damage to the library. In the false ceiling of the library, there was some fire, short circuit took place, and some the false ceiling portion started burning, and some smoke started coming in the bound volume section of the library. And I surprised that within few minutes, the security officer rushed on the motorcycle to the library, and he said, "Where is the fire? Where is the fire?" And then we By chance, at the time there was no fire alarm, but the intimation reached due to the detection of the smoke to the security officer that something is burning inside the library. Location also came. He came running, and we rushed and checked all the sections immediately, all staff members, and we found in one of the bound volume section, this some smoke was coming, and the false ceiling was burning. So immediately we were having fire extinguishers, and with the help of security persons, that was put out. The fire was put out. The lights were with the DP direct light power was shut off, and later on that portion was removed. That line was cut from that portion, and of course rectification took place and all those things. So we may have to safeguard the library material. I will tell you what has happened. Once it has happened in our library, we were about to close the library, and one day what has happened, our roof was leaking, and thinking that in order to fix that problem, we consulted certain engineers, and he has put certain chemicals, and he told that chemical will fix the leakage problem in the roof. But unfortunately, after putting that chemical, there was heavy rain just after 1 hour, and that chemical washed away, and our first floor in the library, one of the rooms was full of water. Few books fell down. They were floating on the floor, and we had to carry. We have all our staff, including some of the readers, helped us. Immediately we have picked up and we tried to that area. Immediately we brought plastic sheets. We have carried out the books on our shoulders to other section so that we can preserve the books. It has happened. It happens sometimes. We have to care the books like our children. We have moved the things. I think more than 500 or 700 books were shifted immediately from that rack where the water was falling, shifted to other section, to ground floor, and later on that roof was repaired. So preservation from fire, taking precautions so that they don't get damaged due to water, don't get burnt due to fire, or affected by these things. If you find that some book which is now out of print, published maybe about few 100 years back or 90, we are having certain scientific publications with us. They are published in 1870, more than 150 years old. And it is the nature of paper. It becomes brittle with the time. What we can do? Only the thing, how we can preserve those publications is take a photocopy, preserve the content. Sometime you will not be able to even photocopy. If you put the paper, that book or particular paper on the machine for taking Xerox copy, it becomes powder. It becomes brittle, so brittle that it becomes powder. There are certain methods available. Overhead projectors will be there, no, like that. There will be overhead cameras. One can open the book, and a bulb like on the top camera will be there. You can take 2 pages photocopy of that material content. Slowly turn safely another page, take 2 pages images, like that. You can convert into image. You can keep. All digital libraries are what? They are images, either self-born. If it is the born digital object, of course, you are creating the document in the digital format itself. But otherwise, you have to take the image, take copy with camera, convert it either into microfilm, microcard, or you can convert by using the digitization technique, convert it to the digital format. You can put it into computer, you can into computer database, you can use it. Images, how you are finding the digital libraries, converted images to digital format using some software. Paperport is there, CamScan is there, so many softwares are available. You can convert it. Important documents, old, which cannot be retrieved. You might have heard about that million project of the where the old books which are not available now have been converted to digital format and put on the internet, which can be used under digital library. So you may be able to preserve the content. We are not interested in preserving the format of the publication. We are, most important for us is the contents. If contents can be preserved, let it be in any format. Okay, you will be able to use figures, maps, data, text, whatever is there, you may be able to preserve. The converting into photocopy, taking a photocopy, converting the images to digital format and preserving it. And of course, you may have to preserve the digital objects also. Sometimes it is in CD-ROM, or if it is in film, tapes, those things are to be taken care so that those things also doesn't get damaged. Sometimes certain things are to be recopied from the tape, from the ROMs. Fresh copies are made because after a few years, they may also get damaged, but recopying becomes easy. There is a section, computerized section, which always take care of the materials to be protected. So these are some of the things related to maintenance of publications, shelving, stock verification, weeding out, or conservation and preservation of publications, which we have discussed. Do you want to have got any question on these two topics?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you want.
Sir, in maintenance section, guiding means what, sir?
Guiding.
Guiding.
Guiding, actually, there are two aspects. You have to physically guide the people where, suppose they are searching for a particular publication or document, where that document is available. Guiding physically the person to see the catalog, get the accession number, get the call number, and how he is getting. Another way of guiding is you are putting some placards, putting some certain guides on in which section, which books are there. Suppose you want the say handbooks, encyclopedias, where is the reference section where those things are available. You put the guides. And third type of guides are for individual racks. Okay, on the racks front panel, you are putting the label which class number to which class number it holds the book. First shelf contains what, second and shelf guides will be also available. If you see the So there will be those things available. You put those as guiding. So guiding the reader to get the material. Yes, any other person? Anybody? Any question?
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, if some person taken the book and not written the book
Okay.
after the date was end,
Okay.
then that book will be in the while doing a staff verification. We can make it as a loss of the book, or how the librarian will handle the situation.
Yeah. Suppose the book is issued out and person is not returning. You are telling
Yes,
the
sir.
same thing. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Naturally, you cannot take it as a last book. When doing staff verification, you have checked all the racks. You have listed out what is available. Then you come to the circulation counter. There you list out what books are in issue. Okay. So you are including, taking those books as available. But if the person is not returning books after due date and he says it is lost, then you have to recover the cost. Tell that public person, call him, you have been issued a book, you have not returned it, so please return. He says, I have lost the book. So you replace the book with a fresh copy. Purchase fresh copy. Library can help it. So you may say him to, we know where the book is available. You tell him to pay the latest price. So that when the library has purchased a book, it may be costing 200. But today, the same book will be costing 2000 rupees if it is available. Isn't it? Cost has gone up. So tell that person to, library may help to acquire that book, pay 2000 rupees instead of 200. Okay. With penalty. And sometimes it happens the book may not at all available. It may be out of print, not available, even latest edition. In such situation, you have to hand over the application given by a person to put up to your library committee. You tell that the person is telling that it is lost and the book is not available in the market. So let the committee take decision whether they want to charge 4 times of the book or book cost, original cost, or whatever is there. The action is to be taken by the committee on the recommendation of the committee or the head of the division, that is head of the organization. Ultimately, you cannot do. Suppose book is not in print, okay, and you are not able to get a fresh copy, but the book is not available. Really, it is lost by the reader. What you can do? Only the thing you can put some penalty, isn't it? That too, not librarian himself. Committee may decide, head of the institute may decide how he is going to do. What penalty normally put? Maybe 4 times the cost, 5 times the cost, or you may suspend the membership for a period of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. What happens? Book will not come.
Yes, sir.
Any other?
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes.
While we are preparing the reading book list, sir, we are ready for reading books list, yeah? Reading, sir.
Okay, okay.
At that time, after preparing the list, what will happen to those books, sir? Is it given back to somewhere or
good question. Yes, good question. So in this one, what has happened now? Suppose you find out that if the book is damaged beyond repair, nobody will take, isn't it? List out, sir, and tell that this book has got damaged and it is some infection is there due to white ants or termites. Such books are to be destroyed. There is no other go, because other books will get infected.
Yes, sir.
But if the matter has become obsolete, book is good from outside, from inside, but the matter, new edition has come, the book has become useless because the inside content has become useless. Suppose, as I told, university handbook is there. you have got latest edition 30, but if you have got 20th edition 10 years back which you purchased, information is useless. So such books can be sold out. You prepare the list, take the approval of the authorities, this matter has become obsolete, and you want to weed it out. So your authorities have approved. Then you pass it on to your store section where they will sell it as a raddi. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Or suppose you find a book is there, you have purchased latest book, Who is Who, or some other handbook, old edition is there, still something can be used. So such books you can prepare a list and circulate it in your area libraries, other libraries. Some libraries may not be having money afford, they cannot afford to purchase latest edition of a particular handbook. If they find, yes, still we can use, our user can use, we give it free of cost to that library. It can be donated to other libraries with the approval of your authorities. Then some libraries, what they are doing, British libraries, earlier what they were doing, you know, they were preparing the list of weeded out, getting it approved, and they used to put at the library counter, or they were circulating among the sections, and they were telling any reader interested in taking any book free of cost may pick up. That was also the practice. It is the individual organization's decision, okay, what to do with earlier editions or weeded out books. Even some library organizations, no, they were having a separate room somewhere else away from library. They were arranging those books and keeping for 10 years, 15 years. By chance, and entries were there in the library catalog. Only the thing, they were marked as weeded out, weeded out. If by chance, if some reader says that I want this book old, they were going to that room and they were removing and giving to that person. You can use it. And if you find more requests are coming, you can re-put that book in the library. But there's segregated withdrawal of books. But sometimes, even decades together, nobody asks. Such books are liable to be sold out as raddi paper. Okay?
Okay, okay, sir. Sir, is there a change for the call numbers for those books? Will we reuse those call numbers for related subjects further, sir?
Call number you can use. Call number is a classification number.
Yes.
But accession number cannot be reused. Okay. Accession number assigned to a book is for individual book. Even if a book is lost and if somebody is replacing it with fresh copy, you should not assign the same accession number, but you should put a fresh accession number to the fresh copy, because you have he has replaced the book with 5th edition, which might have published in 2000, and you have purchased that book in 1960. So how you can assign the accession number of 1960 book to 2000 published book? So fresh accession number should be assigned. Call numbers can be used to anything. It is a classification number. Accession number cannot be assigned. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, any other question? Then I will just sum up what we have learned in just 5 minutes time. We have seen in the unit 1 what are the different theories of library and information centers management given by different library experts, different management gurus, different management experts like Gulick, he has given posed carb that such principles are applied for management of the libraries. How based on those principles we can manage our organization's library. We have seen in the first unit such principles how help us in managing our collection, managing our manpower, and managing the services in our libraries. That thing we have learned in the first unit. In second unit, we have seen how we can organize our services, how we can organize our collection, how we can manage our staff, applying those principles, preparing the organizational charts, what are different sections, what are different units working in the library, how they are coordinating with each other, and preparing the your organization or your library structure at a glance by making the charts, organizing the several diagrams. So this we have seen in unit number 2. And in unit number 3 of library management, we have seen how library buildings can be managed, if any extension is required, how you have to approach, or if you want to organize your library properly, uh, what are different sectors, how sections can be arranged, what are the lighting arrangement, ventilation, or your air conditioning equipments, furniture required for library like catalog cabinets, bookshelves, then for reference books having glass door almiras, or users tables, users chairs, or the equipments like book trolleys for moving the books from circulation counter to stack room, or from one rack to other rack, and then sorting out the carts, sorting bins are there, or if you are arranging the journals catalog, you are having cardex, you are having the revolving type of cards arrangement. In the, of course, nowadays everything is computerized. So different types of furniture, different type of equipment, different type of building space management you have learned in unit number 3. The racks for display of new books, pigeonhole racks for displaying racks, journals, where the older issues of journals are kept inside the box. Latest it is displayed on the slanting doors, their shutters, what we call. And then in unit 4, we have learned the role of, what is the role of library committees in selection of books, in fixing of rules and regulations for the library, and what are the normal model library rules and regulations which can be applied, right? Opening time, location of the library, then what are the circulation rules, what are the timings of circulation, who is eligible for borrowing how many books, what is the duration of the loan, what happens if you don't return the book on the time, how much penalty, how much overdue charges you are going to collect, and what if you lost the book, or how you can get the replacement or getting new fresh cards issued if your library tickets are lost, how much charge you have to pay, or what services you can avail from the library. Suppose you want photocopy, you want a printout of article. Are you supposed to pay something to the library? How much charges? All those things, rules, regulations are there in unit number 4. We have already discussed. Unit 5 tells what is the role of human resource planning, how you can manage the human resource. Suppose you want additional staff, how you pay, you can approach, you can get through your library committee, send request, what are the things, how you can change the transfer the staff from one section to other, or annually you may change the duties. You may also get the annual appraisal performance reports. Annual performance appraisal reports will be there, APARs we call. You may plan additional services so that the assigned goals of your organizations are met by your library. And we have seen in unit number 6 how we can manage the available financial resources, how we can prepare the budget estimates, different types of budgets like line by line, item by item, PPBS program, project programming and budgeting, site budgeting, zero-based budgeting. We have seen different types of budgets, recurring budgets, recurring and plan or non-plan budget. What are the recurring things? How much you have to pay for subscriptions? Though you may cut down certain publications requirement, but you may have to subscribe essential journals. How much is to be paid? For that, you make estimates. Normally, budget estimates are prepared before the beginning of financial year, sent it to the head of the institute. Head of the institute forwards this to the respective parent department forwards it to the respective ministry, and finally the finance ministry gets it. Annual budget is passed in parliament. Again, it is same process is repeated, and budget is allocated to the organization. Organization gives you your portion. And what are the normally norms for providing the budget? Suppose a university gets some amount as annual budget, whether you have to spend 5% allocated to library out of that, or 10 or 7%, whatever it is there. Sometimes it is given 5%. University norms says you may up to 7% you may go, even though recommended is 10% of the annual budget of a university to be given to the library. Such things we have seen given in the financial management. Under unit 7, we have seen different statistics, visitor statistics, book acquisition statistics, circulation statistics, membership statistics. Means how many books have been issued, how many physics books, how many chemistry books, how many social sciences books, how many computer science books are issued to users, how many users are there, how the trend of increase of users is there. 5 years back, there were only 100 members. Today, there will be 200 members, 300 members. The book acquired, budget allocated. 5 years back, budget was, say, 10 lakhs. Now it has become after 10 to 12, 13, 15, now 20 lakhs. How the trends are moving, and your services provided, how many photocopies you provided during the year, how many printouts you have given, how many reprints you have fired. All those statistics input you are giving to your PME or project management division, where annual report is prepared. You have how many services you have offered, what types of services you have offered. Everything is recorded in annual report, and other report is sent to the ministries. It is passed on to other libraries, other organizations. So all those things you have seen in unit number 7. Unit number 8 tells you how to select the books. You have to obtain the suggestions from readers. They may be students. The persons who are suggesting may be faculty members. The suggestions may be receiving from different sections. You may be getting books on approval. You may be getting books from different organizations as donation. You may be getting publications on exchange. You may be getting publications from government. So all those book selection procedures, how you acquire the books based on your budget, getting approval of the committee, placing orders, and then how you can acquire the materials in electronic format, e-books, e-journals, e-reports. You are getting those things, acquiring those things. Instead of purchasing, you are going for subscription. For periodicals, you are paying subscription. Print periodicals, you are directly acquiring by getting invoice from publishers, by paying them foreign currency or Indian currency, converting it into foreign currency when you are acquiring it from foreign countries, through agents or through directly paying to them, transferring the amount, sending it in FDD, foreign draft, bank drafts. Or when you are acquiring electronic material, you have to enter into contract, sign the contract, sign the license with publishers, framing the legal documents, sign that you want the previous year's subscription of you want to access this year. Perpetual access is to be done for the publications, e-documents, e-books, e-journals. You want perpetual access means what you have subscribed previously should also come along with the current subscription. Along in the future years, you should be able to access, either paying by some platform access fee, or you may without, if you are subscribing the current journals, current year subscription, previous thing, free of cost. How to purchase the back files of the journals, either single journal, previous issues, previous volumes, or purchasing in the form of subject bundles. Purchasing directly or accessing or getting the electronic materials through consortia, consortium or consortia, INDEST, NKRC, Knowledge Resource Consortia, or through various subject consortia. Then in unit number 10, you have learnt yesterday the technical processing. When the books which you have ordered come to you, you check the books, accession it, classify it, catalog it, put various labels, put into database information, bibliographic information, put tags, put stamps, put RFID or barcodes, send it to maintenance section shelves it. You circulation, you have seen Brownie system, Newark system, register ledger system, or computerized packages through which you can automated circulation system you can follow. Do those things, books which are acquired are kept in environment, dust-free environment. They are circulated, overdue charges to be collected or not as per the regulations. And then finally we have seen today all those publications which are stacked after acquisition, after technical processing, how we should verify that these things are available in the library, not lost. Stock verifications annually, once in 3 years, once in 5 years. sample verifications, what we have to do if the books are lost, what we have to do, how to weed out the publications which are obsolete, which have damage, which have become useless, and how to write it off, putting to your authorities, getting it written off, removed from balance sheet of the institute, that amount, mark it in the accession register that these things have been weeded out or been written off. And finally, we have seen if the books, how to preserve the books. You may take a photocopy, you may convert it digital format. If they are infected, if you want to save it, how to use chemicals, how to use naphthalene, how to put balistol, how to use this other chemicals and preserve the things, how to dehumidify by using chemicals, using sambrani, using high voltage bulbs and all the more powerful high watt bulbs and all. So this is in a nutshell what we have discussed in last 6 days in 12 classes. If you know this thing without any hesitation, without any difficulty, you will be able to answer your paper of library management information. Not only pass your examination by writing these things in examination, it will be useful to you when you join as a library in any sort of library, public library or academic library or special library. When you are joining, these management techniques will be applicable to all sorts of libraries. Same type of management techniques you may adopt and be able to manage your library smoothly. So please, my advice is there, please read your study material. Very good study material is provided by your university. So read chapter by chapter, read some portion, at least every day, read some portion of each unit. Understand, try to understand. If you don't understand, read again. After reading, you will definitely follow. If any difficulty is there, you can approach any library, any staff of the department. You will be getting information. And that information, if you are retaining your in mind, you will be a successful librarian in future. Because when you join, naturally, questions will be related to library management, how you manage the library. Your duty itself is only, when you join as a library staff, your duty is to manage the stock, manage the publications from all types, right from selection till managing it, managing the human power, managing documents, managing users, providing the services, everything. So here I end these 6 days. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you explain the organizational chart of library, sir?
Organization chart of library.
Library, yes, sir.
Prepare the chart. Nothing. If you see your study material, which I am showing, you are seeing on the top, what is written? Management of library and information centers. You are seeing readers, processing, maintenance, circulation, bindery, reference section. They are interconnected. This is the chart for providing library services. Same way, how many divisions are there in the library? If it is a special library, you will be providing certain special type of services in addition to routine. You have to mention whatever routine things are there. In addition to that, abstracting, then indexing, then contents service, literature service, search service. Put those things in special library service. In academic library service, theses, providing the literature, providing the textbooks, book banks, everything what services you are offering to your users, you have to put into a form of a flow chart. Simply, there it can be horizontally, it can be vertically. What connections are there? Who is at the top hierarchy? Who is the middle level? Who is at lower level? That is only organizing, but preparing chart, it is given very well in your study material. You will be able to prepare the, as I told, the book itself, your study material book itself shows the organizational chart here. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I am stopping here. Are you having any more class after this today?
No, sir.
No, sir. Only one. Okay. So, okay, then wishing you all the best for your exams. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So you please read. You will be able to write. Okay.
సార్ లీవ్ చేశారా? సార్ క్లాస్ రేపు ఉందా?
లేదండి.
క్లాస్ అయిపోయాయా సార్ అన్ని? ఇంకా
సార్ మొత్తం లెసన్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేసేసారు ఈ రోజు.
అవునా? థర్డ్ యూనిట్ అయిపోయిందా?
థర్డ్ యూనిట్ ఏంది 1 to 12 యూనిట్స్ అయిపోయినాయి.
ఓకే. 13 ఏంటది?
లాస్ట్ టైం ప్రిజర్వేషన్ ది
థియరీ ఉంది కదా
మొత్తం థియరీ.
సార్ ఏమన్నా క్వశ్చన్స్ చెప్తారేమో అనుకున్నా, ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్.
ఏం చెప్పలే కదా.
సార్ సడన్ గా వెళ్ళిపోయారు, నేను అడుగుదాం అనుకున్నాను.
అప్పుడే క్లోజ్ చేస్తారు, లీవ్ చేసినట్టున్నారు సార్.
సార్ లేరు, వెళ్ళిపోయారు.
అయినా టైం ఆల్రెడీ అవుతుంది.
అవునవును. ఓకేలేండి. ఓకే, బాయ్ అండి.
బాయ్. ఏదో ఉంటే గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టండి.
ఓకే. ఏం పేరండి మీ పేరు?
సాహితీ అని ఉంది.
సాహితీనా? ఓకే ఓకే.
గ్రూప్ లో ఉంది, గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టండి ఏమైనా ఉంటే.
సరే అండి.
ఓకే.